Hi, so in this video I'm going to show you how you can actually do the same thing that we looked at in the last video, which is start up an agentic tool inside of your code space here. Last time we looked at something called Open Code, which is an open source agentic software CLI, command line interface. And so this time I'm going to show how to do it with Claude Code. If you have a subscription to Claude Code, you can use it this way as well, using your Claude Pro subscription. If you don't, then you should just use Open Code, and you'll see me kind of using both. And they're mostly can do many of the same things. And so once you learn one of these tools, the other one is very similar. So at first what I'm going to do is come back over here, and I'm just going to show you how you exit out of this one. So most of these tools, the way you exit is you type / and then you hit exit like that. So we'll come back and use this one a little bit later on, but for right now I want to get out of this one and go back to my terminal and then show you how to use Claude Code. So once we're out of this, I'm back over here. And so now, again, I'm back in my terminal window, so I can do a little ls and see what's in there. And I can do pwd, and I can see what folder I'm in. So I'm going to do pretty much the same thing we did before, but instead of using open code, I'm going to show you how to use Claude Code. So /, and now this, you could just type Claude. But it's better if you use a version that I set up that lets you kind of have a bunch of things set up easily the first time. So I'm going to say / a dot, and then /, and I'm going to type permissions again out to this. And this time I'm just going to say claude.sh. And this is a script that passes Claude some arguments that has some settings to it that make it come up, and so that it's not going to bug you with every single little thing that it wants to do. And so that's why these scripts are setting certain permissions on the coding tool. And so we're inside of a code space, so there's not much we can wreck. So as long as we're not working on our local machine, you shouldn't have to okay every little thing that it kind of wants you to okay. So that's what these scripts do. I have a script that starts each of the agentic tools and just gives you as many permissions as you can have. So we're going to start up Claude. And so just hit return after you have this. And it's going off and finding Claude. The first time it runs it, I think it has to go get some stuff set up. So here's everybody's favorite Claude Code coming up. I'm going to leave it in dark mode. We're going to have to log into this one. And if you don't have an account to do this, then you can't use Claude Code. But I have the pro account, so I do that. And I know if I've done this before, I know I got to cancel that address. But I can get this long one right here. And I copy it. And I got to stay out of the window right there. But I'm going to use the keys to copy it. So I copy it. And now I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you paste this in. So you paste in that long address, and you hit return. And what this is going to do is take you over to a window that says authorize. Make sure you're in the right account, and then say authorize. And it's going to give you this little code. You say copy code, and then you're going to come back over to the window, which I forget where it is now. Is this one? Yeah, it's this one. And you're going to click down here, and that stupid little window comes back up again. I just try to stay out of the way of that window. You can't really use it. It doesn't work to command click or whatever. So you click down here so that because you're going to have to paste that code down. And then you use the keys to paste in like that. And it shows you the last few characters of it. And so you can keep track of whether it's right or not. But just hit return, and it'll take it. And then eventually that little window will go away, and I'm just going to click over here. And then I just start hitting return, return, return. And let's see if we can get rid of that little window. I don't know. Hit return, and hopefully it will go. Finally it goes away. Okay, so now it goes through and it okays some stuff, and I just hit enter about 5 times, and then finally I'm here. So this is what your Claude Code looks like. And so now this is pretty familiar for anyone who's used this. What it's done here by running that script with the permissions set on it is it's not going to ask me a ton of stuff to kind of make sure that everything is okay. And what I'm going to do here, just to make things kind of speedy, is I'm going to select the model up here. It's, well, too, right now it's on Sonnet 4.6, and so I'm just going to say model and use the down arrow and do haiku, just so it's fast. This is the same model we were using in Open Code, so it should be almost exactly the same, but you're using your Claude Code subscription or your Claude Pro subscription instead of the Copilot, the GitHub Copilot subscription. So either way, the GitHub Copilot subscription is free, by the way, because of the education benefits. So what did we do last time? We said, can you tell me what this repo is about and describe it? So LLMs are really good at looking through all the files and figuring out what a repo does. So that's one of the main things that you can do. So this repo is about a pizza ordering system. It's a bit special. Instead of a typical website, you can click the buttons to order. It works through a conversation, blah, 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 blah. You're building a skill. So the skill is already built and ready for you to use. Then you're just going to make some changes to it. Does that make sense? Want me to start by placing a test order, or would you rather look at the menu items available first? It's already kind of starting to figure out what to do. So I'm going to say, I just want to practice editing some files first, not working on the skill yet. Okay, so it's already pretty much figured everything out, but I'm going to tell it, I just want to edit some files, and I'll show you how that works in here. So, okay, so got it. So good idea. What would you like to practice with? You could try editing the README. It's just text, so you could change it. We could create a simple practice file and edit it, or we could make a small change to the skill file. I don't think we should do that because that's where we're going to be doing our work. So yeah, we could make a little change to the README file. But I think I just want to create a file on my own. So, and I'm going to have it create a folder and put a file inside of it. So can you create a folder called practice, and inside of it make a markdown file, a simple markdown file with a markdown table in it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so it made a little folder called practice, and it put a little thing called sample table inside of it. So let's see where it did it. So see this little green one over here? This is the new thing it created, this folder called practice. If I click on that, in there's this new file that it created. And so what I'm going to do is come over and click on it, and that opens up at the top like that. I'm going to scroll this down for a minute. And so there's the file that it made, and you can preview it, remember, right here. There's the preview for it. So it's made a little table like this. And so I'm just going to practice with it changing this table. So can you remove David from that table? Okay, I'm not too worried about my spelling. And so we can go off and make the edits kind of on your own, on its own, just to do it. Or you can kind of make them yourself as well. So you can go in here and do this, and I'm going to take out Bob, and let's see if it can see what I did. So I'm just going to say save that, and so now I made a change of my own. Remember I said you could edit these files on your own if you wanted to, so I just made a change. I took out a row, and then I hit Command S to save it. And so now can you see the edit that I made? Okay, so being able to work with the LLMs and having them be able to access all these files is crazy. That's just, just very powerful, which is something you can't do very easily on the chatbot website. When you go to a chatbot's website, having it have access to your files on your computer is just not possible from the chatbot site. And so you have to like either upload all your files, and it's just a real headache. So here it actually has access to all of these files over here. It can create folders, it can edit the files for you, it can do all kinds of things. So yes, so it sees what I changed. I took out that row, and even if you just change one character, watch this. So I'm going to just do one little change. Take that W out, and then I'm going to save it. This is my favorite thing. Is so how about now? Can you see the change I made? Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so it looks, yep, I can see you changed the text. You removed the W from width, so it says get familiar instead of width. Okay, great. So, all right, so this is working with Claude Code. And of course, the same way as before, let's make this a little bit bigger over here. Once you're kind of done working with your Claude Code, you can go down to the bottom like this, and you can say exit, and that'll take you out. Now, it didn't really refresh the terminal after we did that. You can see that pound sign, it's back at the terminal. So a lot of times after I get out of Claude, what I have to, or one of these agentic tools, I have to clear it like that. So clear is the thing that you can do that'll take it back up to the top. And so just so you see where we are, we're here. And so now it made this little folder over here called practice. That's new, and it put that sample table inside of there. And so that was the thing that we did. And so editing with the LLMs is really quite convenient in these code spaces, and it really makes it very, very productive.